How do you know what to pay attention to when you're learning a piece of music without getting overwhelmed by everything that's on the page? In this lesson, you'll learn how to allow different elements of music to come into your awareness without losing the sense of the whole. Have you ever stepped outside early on a beautiful morning just to sit for a while and allow your senses to open to the new day? Perhaps at first you hear birdsong. There might be a solitary bird or an entire bird orchestra. Then you begin to notice other things. Perhaps a train passing by in the distance or a breeze wafting through the trees. As the light changes, you might begin to watch the sky. You might see the sun come up or see colors changing in the clouds. One thing after another comes into your awareness. But here's the interesting part. Nothing has disappeared. The birds are still singing while you're watching the sky. The train's still passing. The breeze is still wafting. They're all part of the same landscape. Your attention simply moves from one thing to another. And somehow you don't find this overwhelming. You don't think, good grief, there's too much happening. You simply notice what's asking for your attention. Now, what if we approached a piece of music in the same way? Instead of looking at a score and thinking, how am I going to keep track of all this information? Instead of listening to a recording and thinking, there's no way I'm going to learn all of these notes. What if we allowed ourselves to discover the music gradually? We don't have to attend to everything at once. We can let one element come forward and notice it, and then allow our attention to move somewhere else, while the rest of the music remains whole, but in the background. Let's try this with some music. First, just listen. What did you notice? Don't worry about whether you noticed the right thing or not, just whatever caught your attention. But we're going to do it again, and this time I want you to listen for the melody. Try to bring the melody forward in your attention. Did you notice something different this time? We're going to listen another time, and this time, listen underneath the melody. What's the harmony doing? Perhaps you noticed something a little different that time. We're going to listen one last time. This time, try to be aware of something that you haven't listened to yet. It might be the movement of the phrase, or it might be a change in the dynamics or the articulation. Notice what happened. The music didn't change. Your attention did. That's the interesting thing about listening to and learning a piece of music. There's often more going on than you can consciously attend to at any one moment. We don't have to hold all of it in our heads at once. We can let one thing come forward, notice it, work with it, then allow our attention to move somewhere else. And the other things haven't disappeared. They're still part of the whole, and over time, as you become more familiar with a piece and learn to play it, your experience of the music will be enriched and deepened. Let's try this experiment with a different piece of music. This time, I'm not going to tell you to listen for anything in particular. Just see what comes to your ear. What did you notice? There's no right answer here. Perhaps you heard the melody coming out. Maybe it was the energy of the rhythm that got your attention, or something completely different. So we're going to listen one more time. And now that you've heard the whole piece already, see if you can hear something different this time. Did your experience change? Perhaps you noticed something that you hadn't noticed the first time. Perhaps something that was in the background before became more prominent. That's what I mean by allowing your attention to unfold. And as you get to know a piece, this becomes even more enjoyable. The music begins to feel less like a page full of information and more like something familiar and accessible. You don't have to catch everything at once. You don't have to understand everything. And you certainly don't have to decide what every detail means before you start learning the notes. You can start by listening. And as you let your attention naturally move through the music, notice what comes forward. Then listen again and see what you notice this time. The music is all there in its entirety. Nothing has disappeared. You're simply learning to see and hear more of it. Thanks for joining me today. I'll see you next time for another lesson in learning to see music.